Thank you, Patrice, for this invitation, and I found the previous presentation very interesting. Obviously, with extreme use of power, that we've seen recently, there might be some changes in environmental part of the assessment that Ricardo just presented, because clearly the 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 data center and the power consumption was not known at that time. But I fully agree in any case on the positive aspect of AI. And let me talk about the next revolution that we see in generative AI, which is to apply the CNN and transformer technology to satellite imagery, where Keros is one of the leaders with companies like Google or IBM. And what is very interesting that using CNN, so neural networks on satellite imagery, that we now have the power, the computing power to do unsupervised models. We used to do supervised model and feature engineering, which was quite lengthy and was requiring a lot of labels and ground truth, which is very difficult to get when you try to model to measure the height of trees or detect methane. And now we can do unsupervised models with thanks to the technologies that have been developed for ChatGPT and other large language models. And by doing that, this opened a lot of opportunities to better understand the impact of mankind on the planet, on climate, and the impact of climate on human activity. So the double materiality of climate that we need to look at. And I will take some example that we've developed at Keros. The first one is using hyperspectral satellite imagery, so satellite with multiple bands, not the red, green, and blue that we typically see, but hundreds of different bands in order to detect in the infrared in particular greenhouse gas emissions, so CO2 and methane. And I will zoom into methane. It was impossible before applying AI on Sentinel-5, the Copernicus Sentinel-5 satellite that Europe has launched in 2018. It was impossible to know where methane emissions were coming from and to attribute them to specific operators. And now with AI on satellite imagery, we know where these emissions are coming from, who are the polluters, which means that we do have a way to starting to have a feedback loop on polluters, which was impossible to do before. And for people who have not heard too much about methane, methane is the second greenhouse gas. It is responsible for more than 30% of past warming, and it will be responsible for 50% of the upcoming warming. So handling methane is absolutely essential. There is no pathway to Paris 1.5 without handling methane. And the only way to detect methane is applying AI on satellite imagery. Obviously, you can detect methane with small camera, but you see only a very small part of it. To have the full picture requires AI on satellite. So on the mitigation part, there is no way to handle methane, which is half of the problem, without AI. So I mean it's not a plus; it's an imperative. And if I take the adaptation angle, we all know about that physical risks are rising: flooding, wildfires, landslides, coastal erosion. And once again, the only way to model that at the granularity we need, which is house level, at 10 meters resolution or below 5 meters resolution, on a global basis, is to use again AI and satellite imagery. So today, both for mitigation and adaptation, there is no way that we can reduce methane emission or adapt our infrastructure without using Gen AI, whether typical machine learning or Gen AI on satellite imagery and drones and aerial imagery. So that's what we do at Keros. I think it's a very, very interesting avenue in order to better manage our future. And I obviously think that AI is absolutely key to build a sustainable and greener future.